وين بعزوز؟ ما بده يجي، كلمته قلت له تعال. مشروب؟
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again and again to HIPAA lectures here. Today we are blessed to have Shadi Nasri here.
Thank you.
And lecture today is one of the very unique lectures we normally conduct here in HIPAA. It's about little bit technical issues about editing and some specialized technical issues for the landscape photographer. I hope you enjoy it. Only a small orientation that we have our lecture today live streamed on YouTube. If you wish to share the link with any of your friends, you can share the YouTube HIPAA YouTube channel. Please don't forget to take your certificate when the lecture here is finished, and we will have 15 minutes break at 7 or 7:15 that you can pray the sunset prayer if you wish. There is a prayer room next to the reception, and there is another prayer room down in the ground floor. Wish you a very pleasant and interesting lecture.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for coming first, and hope after 3 hours your knowledge is coming a little bit more. My name is Shadi. As everyone knows, I'm from Spain, originally from Syria, but I live in Spain for more than 22 years now. I'm landscape photographer and astrophotographer also, and I will share with you today something new, okay? So I hope, but it will be like small test for you, okay? Will be private test for you with your mind, only just two together, and try to be honest with yourself. This is very important, please, okay? Who's landscape photographer or? One, two. You want. And do you think you are ready to be a landscape photographer? This is good. I give the same workshop, not the same, it's just 20% the same in Abu Dhabi. In the first 10 minutes, I ask, who he think he's good for landscape photographer or is ready to be landscape photographer, and I think 70% he said me. And after 1 hour he said only 4 people saying me. So just try to be honest with yourself, okay? Just this lesson to increase your knowledge, your preparation, okay? And there is 2 or 3 techniques really will help you, not even in the landscape, even in cityscape, even in product photography, and everything will be help for you, okay? So let's start. If you want to be here, you have to study too much, okay? If I ask you now, what is the landscape photography for you? What do you think when you heard about landscape? What do you think about landscape photography?
Nature.
Okay. What else?
Mountains.
What else?
Golden hour.
Expensive. Yes or not? It's very expensive, okay? It's difficult. If you need to buy full frame camera, you need a good lens. Your budget is around 20,000, something like that, 15,000. And just take only one camera and one lens. Maybe you are going to 15,000 dirham. So it's expensive or not? It's difficult. It's challenging. So each picture you take is a challenge for you, even for, because the condition is very bad, because the light is very bad, because the element in the foreground also it's very bad. So it's challenge. Each photo is challenge for you. It's not to know how to take the picture. It's okay. You can put it in auto mode. You will take the picture. Okay. But the condition of the place, you cannot control this condition. There is no auto condition. So you need good sky, good light. You make everything in auto and you take picture. We cannot do that. That's why it's challenging and it's time consuming. Because before there is preparation for the picture, you have to go to site and check around and check the light, the sun from where it's rise, from sun. All these things, it's preparation and time consuming for the picture. Also, you have to travel. Maybe you have to travel 3-4 hours to take pictures, just 1 second, only click and go back home. So that's why it's difficult, everything. And also, it's physically difficult. For me, if I have to go upstairs to the mountain, something like that, it's very difficult for me. So now I have drone, so I send the drone up. I'm staying down, taking the picture. This is a good solution. But if you want to go up and hike in everything, it's really difficult. Here, it's okay. It's not so difficult, but you go to Europe, or the mountains, and the condition of the road and everything.
What drone do you use?
DJI, I have the Mavic 2 Pro. Yeah. But the best photography is the photography at its best. The landscape, you enjoy everything, even it's raining, snowing, you are enjoying, believe me, because you are capturing something different. And if you try to do it not professional, but in the best way, you will get nice result and you will be happy with yourself. Finally, the photography, it's our passion. I'm not professional. It's not give me my food, okay? I'm just sharing my knowledge, okay? And many people also sharing their knowledge with me, so I'm learning also, all together. But if I learn something, I'm happy to share this with you, to increase your knowledge. Nobody teach me. So study and study. We will talk about this later, okay? So, are you ready? Okay, let's start. Okay. First question, do you read your camera manual?
Yes, and yes, you could.
How many? How many? Okay, less than 5%. Okay. Why? Do you know how your camera works? Are you sure? 100%? Okay. There is a lot of option in the camera. If you don't read the manual, you will never learn it. At least if you go to, for landscape, I said it's time consuming and it's very expensive. Imagine you are now in Spain or in Iceland or even here in Liwa. You are traveling and you reach the site maybe 10 minutes before the sunset, okay? And you forget how to set the camera. You lose all the light, everything. One of my friends, it's happened for him. He reaches the site, he forget how to set something in the camera. He want to make 5 pictures, the bracketing, you know. So it's good to learn your camera, how it works, especially. I had issue with some friends also. He bought the camera and next day he was in workshop. No idea about the camera, how can use it. So this is very important. Number 2, do you know the basic concept of photography?
Yes.
Okay. If no, self-learning or basic photography workshop. If yes, I will make you a small quiz, okay? I will not ask anyone now the answer. I will tell you the answer, but keep in your mind and be honest with yourself. If you don't know the answer, please try to increase your knowledge in the basic of photography. What is the aperture? It's a fraction of focal length which the light passes through to the sensor, okay? But how we can measure the aperture? F number. And what's mean F number? It's focal length number. So if you have lens 100 millimeter at f4, what's mean that? Which means we have the aperture is 25 millimeter. Okay? This is the basic, okay? This is the basic in photography. And I'm not going to charge you now, okay? Just keep it in mind. If you don't know this one, so please go back one step and learn in basic photography. And here we have, I think, the best one in Dubai who teach the basic photography is Ms. Ola, okay? Okay. Now, if we finish if we read the manual, we know all the basic of photography, aperture, ISO, shutter speed, the triangle, everything. So it's good if we learn the basic of landscape photography. The first, composition. The composition is everything in the picture. If the picture is not composed good, so it's a bad picture. Even if the light's amazing, everything is good, but the composition, because your eye is going through the composition. Number two, the light. Teach yourself and study about the dynamic range, about histogram, about lighting, everything. Also the colors. This is very important because the composition is not only how to compose the element in the picture. You have to learn how to compose the light. You have to learn how to compose the colors. Okay? Composition is element, light, and color. And the timing. You have to learn when you go to make pictures and what time. And what the difference between the golden hour and the blue hour, the civil twilight, the astro twilight, and the nautical twilight. You have to learn everything about this to be a good landscape photographer. Also the cityscape, landscape and cityscape, exactly the same. Another question, do you have the right tools for landscape? It's not only to have the camera. There is a lot of tools and gears you have to. First is weather-sealed camera. It's very important. Imagine you are taking the picture and start raining or snowing or something there. I've been 1 month before in Iceland, taking pictures, video, 20 degrees minus. My camera was frozen. I never had any problem. And it works perfectly. Minus 20, it was working for 2.5 hours for time-lapse video. And the battery, when I turned it off, was half. Perfect. This is very important. Here also, it's important to be weather sealed. We have humidity, we have moisture, no? Steady tripod. I know more than 90% of the people I know in the Middle East, they bought a very expensive camera and very expensive lenses, but normal. Okay, tripod is important. I show you video. This suddenly the waves come like this, suddenly. And this is the picture. It's sharp 100%. This is a raw picture without any touching. This is the picture from the video. You can see little, it's hazy, little, no? Or foggy. This is because the water had just increased little the saturation of this area, so it will be okay. Okay? Many people ask me, what camera should I buy? And the first thing I ask, for what you are going to use the camera, for landscape, for cityscape, or for product, for everything. The same, the tripod. Which tripod, for what? And the camera, you know, the camera, it's good from the sensor, no? It's a big sensor, full frame, many megapixels. And a tripod, what the main issue we have to take? Exactly, this one. When the plate it's bigger, more stability. When it's smaller, lower stability. Okay, this is very important. If you buy a camera and lens with 15,000 dirham, okay, you can spend 3,000 dirham, no? You have money to spend 3,000 dirham if you bought your camera with 15,000. This will secure your camera, okay? A strong backpack, because snowing or sand, you keep your camera everywhere, traveling in the airplane, you put something above, so you need a strong backpack, okay? And no need to be very big, okay? I have a small one, but really strong. Lenses. Which lenses we need for landscape photography? Wide angle. What else? 70-200. Even if you have 200, 500, if you have 400, it's very good for landscape. You can get composition. It will be simple. I can show you after something, but it's really amazing. Eh? And for sure, trigger, filters. If you want to increase your level in photography, also you have to increase your gear also. Taking picture without filters, it's okay, very good pictures. But when you use the filters, your photography will become more than 2 steps up. You need ND filter, and you need GND filter. The ND filter, it's neutral density, just to reduce the amount of light which come in to our sensors, okay? So we need to increase the shutter speed, okay? We can take motion blur, long exposure, something like that. We will talk about it after. And this GND filter to reduce the light in the upper part of the picture in the sky, okay? There's 2 types. This one, it's normal GND. This is hard edge, and this is the reverse. This is for sunset and sunrise. Extra batteries, because normally we move in from the hotel early morning before sunrise, and we back nighttime. So we need 5 batteries at least with us. Phone, it's very important. If something happened for us, we can call the emergency, okay? Software in our iPhone or phone to used for we can search everything, the sun, exactly the sunset location, the Milky Way, everything. So it's useful application for us.
This week,
And for sure, clothing and shoes. Okay? It's very important. Special photo gears. The best for me, this one. It's called L plate. This one. For what we use it. If you want to take portrait pictures, you have to put your camera like this. Correct? The problem if you have a big lens or even heavyweight lens, okay, that's why this L plate is very helpful. Okay. Just $20 US, eh? It's not so expensive. Okay, there is expensive one, but with 20. Yeah, no, it's just one. It's just one. Okay. The second one. This is the level pace. See this one? Why you use it? For leveling our tripods. And today we will use it a lot. Okay? This for leveling the tripod. Imagine you are in the mountain. You have to make your tripod change the length of the sections, and you have to keep it, look here, okay? So it's time consuming. With this one, just open, you have your level, and you put it, close, finish. Also, it's something like 35, 40 euro, not like this one little expensive, but it's good price. It will be good help for you. This one, this is the Panorail. Or for macro photography, you can use it. We'll learn now today how we use this one also, and why we use this one. This is Panorail. Another thing, this is heater for our lenses. You know why we use it? Eh? Condensation. Just we heat the lens, because imagine you are now in 20 degrees here in this room. You are going outside, and the temperature is 50 degrees. So it will be condensation. So on this one, you can heat your lens. Okay. We use normally for the for moisture, especially in night photography or in astrophotography, because if there is a lot of moisture, we are shooting maybe 3-4 hours for one picture. So just to keep the lens hot, to avoid any moisture in the lens. Okay? Power cube. You are traveling, you have phone, you have camera, you have drone, you have many things, okay? So this is very helpful with you. Imagine you are 2 people in the room, and there is 2 only sacks. There's no way to use it. This one very helpful, $15 US. Okay. These small things make the difference, believe me. It's nothing. Maybe if you go now to drink a coffee with a small cheesecake, you will pay more of this. Okay? Any question?
Talk about leveling. All our cameras these days have the leveling bar inside. Why not use that, and why?
We will talk about later. Okay? Now, let's talk about you, about me, about photographers. There is three kind of photographers. The beginner, and the intern, and we have the artist. The beginner is asking everything. Which aperture I have to put, shutter speed, the focal length, vertical or horizontal, the framing, the point of view, everything. Okay? And the next level, the intern. So he already know everything about that, okay? Has experience, and is starting to emulate the other photographers, okay? Trying to do the same. And this is how all we start. And the third one is the artist, the creative. He's starting creating something different. You will not, these pictures is one of the most difficult situation I've been to take these pictures. After, we will talk about these pictures, okay? But remember me, this was a big challenge for me. The biggest challenge, like photographer, this picture. It looks normal, but I will tell you the story after. So, we are landscape photographer, we are not professional, just our hobby. We enjoy making pictures. So what are your priorities from the pictures, from the landscape, for any photography? Let's talk about photography in general. Experience, memories, traveling, we have good memory from the places, meeting new people, okay, relationship, stories, we back home and tell story to the people, and for sure making great picture, okay? So please, remember, safety first, okay? Why? Because we have family, we have friends waiting us, okay? I think your life, it's more than a picture, no? The value of your life is more than a picture. What do you think about these pictures? It's beautiful. 2 years back, one photographer died in this place. He's not getting, he doesn't want to take these pictures because he was staying here just to make pictures for the people with him, okay? And he fell inside the hole. This is a blowhole, getting down, sucking down, and they found it here. So keep this in your mind, safety is first. Okay? It's good if we take this picture. You remember? No, we had a friend there. We had a friend. No, it was after our workshop there. One friend was going in here with the with slippers. I told him, stay in the car. You cannot go down. And he's staying in the car. He said, no, I'm responsible. No, no, you are with me. I'm the responsible of you. After the workshop, okay, you can do what you want. But there, safety is first. Normally, there is people staying here if there is a high tide to block the entry of this place.
I fell from a waterfall by accident.
Yeah.
Now I'm in Syria.
You see, this is one example. Be careful, please. Remember your family, your children. My golden rule, the triple L. Learn and learn and learn. Okay? Believe me, I study 3 hours a week learning photography. Believe me, every week. I travel a lot because my work, I'm field engineer. I'm working every place in Spain, so I have too much time for me free. And I'm learn. Sometimes I make workshop, but this is online workshop, something like that, because I need to increase my photo knowledge also. And I'm here also to give you everything what I know. I never keep anything for me. This is my secret, no. Because when you learn my secret, after 1 year, I will be one step above, because I'm learning also, okay? So the camera manual and setting is very important. And YouTube, social media, everything, it's important. And workshops and online workshops, okay? I have now maybe 31 years in photography. Believe me, I'm still working and taking workshops. Doesn't matter. I don't have computer and I can put everything 100% from one time. But before attending the workshop, any workshop, you have to ask you 3 questions. Have a good thing, what you want, what you like to develop in your photography, and what you like to learn about. Okay, this is very important. If you are joining all the workshops, and after that you're spending money for nothing, this can be a good guide for you to choose what type of workshop you need. Okay? Something it's important when you are going to the field, it's called the reality and expectation. This is the picture, the expectation. This is the reality. Okay? This is what you see. Exactly. This is a huge difference, no? Between one and the other. So how we can get this picture? All what I talk about. And believe me, it's easy. It's not so difficult. But just give yourself half an hour a day or maybe 2 hours a week. Just study, learn. Okay? Also, this place. You have a lot of ice over the beach. It's nice, good. But this is the reality. And this is the expectation. I'm not getting anything. This is what I have there. So the conclusion, how can I take this picture? Basic photography knowledge is very important. Understanding the light, the color, and the composition. We have knowledge about landscape, techniques, and the planning. And for sure, the right gear to do these pictures. Camera, lenses, tripod, filters. This is what we need. Not this picture. This is without any lens, any filters. Also, you have to learn the astrophotography, how to make this picture. This is not normal picture. This is 40-minute exposure time with light frame, with dark frame, with flat frames. So it's not something normal. You have to learn about it to make these pictures. Okay? Questions? Are you ready to be a landscape photographer? Okay. I told you landscape is expensive, eh? No, believe me. If you have 1855, the basic lens of any camera, it costs maybe 300 dirham or 250 dirham. You can make great pictures, okay? You can make great pictures. It's not expensive. It's more expensive to learn, maybe. But please be honest with yourself. If you miss something, try to learn about it, okay? This is what we need all, learn more. Even if you are working in a company, you are an engineer, you want to be a manager, you have to learn, you have to study. With your position, you cannot go up if you never learn anything. There is 100 of people. So please, learn, okay? We have questions.
For the astrophoto that you've taken from Milky Way,
Yeah.
when you can get the same picture in one shot also?
No way.
No,
No way.
that's my question. Why did you take 40 and stitch them together? For cleaning, the resolution, or what?
Not for the resolution, we have the same resolution. But this picture was 20 pictures of 4 minutes each one. Okay? 20 pictures of 4 minutes each one, using a sky tracker to simulate the movement of the Earth. So the tracker working, okay, so we don't have star trails. So that's why I use I need 4 minutes and 20 pictures. I need more information, more information. When you have more pictures, more information, maybe you can catch these 3 nebulas. This is nebulas. With normal picture, you cannot see it, okay? Even this nebula, even this one, even this one. Okay, the foreground, no, with just 30 seconds will be start like blurring. Okay, there's 2 pictures for the foreground and the background. And also you have this, our camera is digital. There is something called the hot pixels. We have hot pixels, we have grain, we have noise, everything. So there is kind of pictures we call dark frames. So it's the same of the white frames or the light frame with just the cap. We put the cap in the lens. We do the same ISO, the same shutter speed, the same aperture, but everything dark. So the camera, the program which we process, will know the hot pixels or the noise in the picture, so we'll repair everything. And then all the cameras, we have vignetting, no? So we do something called flat frames to remove. We put the easy way, we put an iPad with white screen, and we put it here, we take pictures, so the program will know the vignetting and will be removed. After that, we will get perfect pictures.
And what is the F that you use for this one?
I'm using between 4 and 5.6. Okay. Why 2.8? It's not bad aperture, okay, but I don't like this aperture. Why? Anybody knows? Also, this is
Not the sharpest.
1, okay. What else? Okay, the comma. Let's see, comma. You know what's comma? if you look the stars and the edge, it look like this, like comma. Number 3.
I mean, this comma will appear when you have a
2.8 wide aperture. Wide aperture.
otherwise it will be without this.
Exactly.
What is the reason?
Eh?
What is the reason?
Construction of the lens construction. We don't have this issue with telescope because the lens is different. Any question about what I talked before?
You talked about the sky tracker. Do you put it on your tripod? Or
Yeah.
how does it
I just remove the head.
I assume that's an electronic one. That's why it matches
Yeah,
exactly.
I remove the head and put the sky tracker over here and nothing else. I will show you this after because this is special one to see it. Question? No, it's not heavy editing. This picture, you can see it like this because a lot of data there. So we have a lot of, the raw pictures is huge, believe me. So you have soft. I'm not with the hard editing. Increasing the sharpness, not the sharpness, the contrast, working the contrast by area, okay?
Use Lightroom for this.
Yeah. So last time I talked about this, how to, there is a video. I don't think if you're still having the video. If you want to share the video with them, I don't mind, no problem. Okay?
The thing that I struggle with the most is, do you depend on XDR blending or do you manually do the stacking of the photos?
We will talk about this later, yes. Okay? Any question about gear, about anything you think even basic knowledge I can share with you, experience? We'll take break for prayer, okay? And be ready after that. Okay? Okay?
شيخ مبارك مشتاقين والله.
مشتاق لك انا طمني عنك ان شاء الله بخير حبيبي بصحتك الله يسلمك ان شاء الله بخير طمني عنك تمام الله يسلمك basic.
خلص ولا لسه؟
لا بكره راح يبلش. بكره.
شفت البوستر تبعه؟ يعني موجود معنا كم يوم؟
ايه 3 ايام. شوف ابو عامر يمكن بكره نجيبه لهون.
خلاص.
ان شاء الله نجيبه. انت هلا هون ولا بابو ظبي؟ انت هون؟ انت بوين؟ شو معاوية شو اخباره؟ هلا صار وزير هلا صار مدير كبير هلا ما بقى عم بيحكي ولا نسمع صوته. الله يعطيه العافيه. عم تشوفه انت؟
اسماعيل في برنامج ايه حلو عامل ايه سكرين شوت
هلا بنورجيك اياه. Dime, ¿qué pasó? Sí. Bueno, quita el cable de microondas. Y ahora sí. Bueno, si eso avísame para llamar a alguien que venga a arreglarlo, ¿vale? Bueno, ya veré Raquel. No vais a estar ahí. Llamamos al seguro de casa, que venga el seguro de casa. Para esto está. Vale, avísame. Venga, un beso, chao. يا حبيبنا
كيفك؟
اخبارك؟ الله يعافيك، كيف صحتك؟ هلا بيك، تشرفنا. قال لي والله محمد حكى لي عنك. الله يسلمك. الحمد لله. يا هلا بيك. الله يسلمك حبيبي. الله يسلمك.
جايين نشوفك نحن.
جاي نشوفني؟ وينك انت مختفي؟ ما بشوفك غير اذا ما في ورشه، لا بتتصل ولا شيء. في بالك ما يعديك. هذا ساعة نيكون، ساعة سوني، ساعة كانون. ايه إلك كيت فلاتر. ايه خلص. هلا من الايباي بطلب لك كيت فلاتر بيكون عندك. Okay. We have half an hour for each technique. We will learn today 3 techniques: blending exposure, and the focus stacking, and the panoramic pictures. Okay. So before we talk about the focus stacking, everything, there is some points we have to learn it, or just I will remind you little about it, because it's very important. What is the dynamic range? The range of light? Okay. Which light? Okay. It's easy. Different between the black and white. Okay? This is the dynamic range. And how we measure the dynamic range? What is the reference of the dynamic range? From stops, but which stops? What is the reference of the dynamic range? In our eyes? 24. And the dynamic range of our cameras? 15, maybe 14. So when you want to buy a new camera, for landscape or nightscape, or even for anything, the first things you have to ask about it, the dynamic range. How much the dynamic range of the camera? Then you decide which camera I will buy. Not because I'm Canon, I'm Nikon, okay? All my stuff is Nikon. Nikon still in the top of the dynamic range cameras. It's 15.3. After that's coming the Sony, the Canon. Okay, and especially now the Z6 is the highest dynamic range in the market. This one, the small camera. It's 24 megapixels and full frame, mirrorless. One of the best, believe me. So this is the dynamic range. This is our eye, 24 steps from black to white. And our camera, the range is 12. This is 12 at 6,400 ISO, not at 100 ISO. They always calculate the dynamic range at 6,400. But when you ask for the dynamic range of the camera 15, it will be at 100 ISO. The histogram. What is the histogram? Graph distribution. Okay, colors, lights, everything. But we will talk only for light. Okay. So this is the normal histogram. This is the areas. Okay. The back here we have black everything. Beyond this one it's black. Here is dark, not black, dark. Okay. Black is here and white is here. Outside the histogram, white and black. Here we have the dark, shadow, mid-tone, and the highlight. Okay? So we have to secure our histogram after every shot. Should be everything inside the box, nothing outside. So this is pure black and this is pure white in the edges. These pictures, you can see we have nice mid-tone here. We have a little bit fog. It's not white, it's foggy picture. That's why we have this peak here. Okay, so this is the highlight which we have here. But still, it's not highlight. We can see beyond it. Okay, we don't have anything black, but we have little dark. You can see in the tree. So like this, you understand the picture. When you see the histogram for first time, you know if the picture is okay or not. But there is one rule, we'll talk about it now. This histogram, you can see there is a lot of dark area and we have little mid-tone. Everything is dark, if you can see, and little mid-tone in the aurora and the waterfall. And this is the same, but the opposite side. We have dark area here, and we have very highlight area. So here we have white, pure white. The histogram, it's already outside the box, okay? But this is bad or good. It depends the picture. Depends what you want, okay? What is the main thing in between these three pictures? There is no highlight. It's close.
Combination of shadows and
No.
some part of
Sky. Okay, and also light and sky. So what we call this kind of pictures? High dynamic range. It's not HDR, eh? It's high dynamic range. Why? Yeah, okay. Why it's high dynamic range? Look the histogram. Okay? If you see, there is no mid-tone in the pictures. We have or shadow or highlight, or we have both together. Like this. We have dark area and we have highlight area, but we don't have any mid-tones. This one, only dark area. Also this highlight. We are not talking about colors, only light. Only the gray area we are talking about. But this one, we call it the low dynamic range. You can see from the histogram. Only we have mid-tones area. Okay? You understand this one? Sure? This will be very helpful for you in your life as a photographer. If you learn the dynamic range, you learn the histogram, how to read the picture, this your first tool, I think, against the external condition. With this one, you can switch off to auto, the light, the shadows, everything. You can control everything with this. Okay? That's why the landscape photography is the difficult one. It's not the easiest. I started landscape in 2007. I started to see the pictures of other photographers. I said, this is not mine. I cannot make pictures like them. So I leave it. And I start with night photography. Okay, this is mine. I like the night. So stars, everything, astronomy, it's one of my favorite hobbies. But after that, I back again, because I start study about it, and look now where I am. I'm still learning, okay? But I'm sharing my knowledge. This is good things. So it's little difficult, but believe me, if you understand the high dynamic range, the low dynamic range, and you understand the histogram, this will be your key to open the door to another levels in photography, because nothing will be difficult after that for you. And under any condition of light, okay? I'm talking only light. Okay. How to compensate? Imagine we have very highlight area and shadows area, and we want to keep everything the mid dynamic range, the low dynamic range. This is what we have, darks area and highlight area. How we can compensate it? Using GND filters, okay, to reduce the light from the sky. But imagine we have mountain in the horizon. If you put filter here, this will be dark also. So here we use the exposure blending. The exposure blending is two pictures, okay? First one, we do it for the darks area. Should be the histogram like this. Only we take care about the darks area. Whatever the highlight, we have highlight or we have white, this is not problem for us. Only we need this part of the histogram. And the other picture, we take care about the highlight. We don't need highlight in our image. Even it's black, don't worry about it. Only we need this part. If we take this part from this picture and this part, we will get this one. It's low dynamic range pictures. This picture, we have very dark area here, but we have nice sky. It's not overexposure. This one, the sky, it's overexposure, but we have the shadow, it's good, We don't have dark area. We have only shadow. This is the shadow. And if we blend both together, this is what we have. And the processing of this picture will take 20 seconds only. I will share the video with you, okay? So you can keep it. And you can practice this one in the future. It's very easy, believe me. Because if you are in this place, you want to take this picture, or you have everything dark or everything. Maybe you told me I make HDR. This is not HDR. This is raw picture. I didn't change anything in the picture. It should be like this. Maybe someone told me we cannot enter with this picture to competence. Yes, you can. When you send the raw filter, always send this one. If they ask, you only increase the shadows. Okay? Okay, this is tricky. But this is your picture, no problem. Increase the shadow here, you have the same. But if you increase the pixels here, you make in zoom. If you increase your shadows, you will be here noisy area, and there is no details there. Okay, so that's why we make this blending mode. It's nothing affect the picture. We are not replacing anything. We're just replacing the light. But the picture composition is the same. We're only replacing the light. Okay? That's why we call exposure blending. Any question about this? The processing video will do it after all the three techniques together. Okay. هلا بدي الضوء. For sure you heard about focus stacking, no? Anyone used this technique before? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which camera you use? 5. I don't have it. Okay. Camera, you don't? No, which camera you use for this technique? Okay. 850. 850. Okay. People who have 850, they will know how easy to do this technique in the 850, especially in Nikon cameras. It's the only camera in the market can do this technique directly in the camera. Okay, we will talk about it. So what is the focus blend stacking for you, or focus shifting, or focus stacking, or? This is the headline, what we are going through: why focus stacking method, camera setting, practicing, and post-processing. We will do everything today. This is one of the most difficult focus stacking when you have a lot of plant or object, exactly. And when you do this picture, pano picture also, this is most difficult. So you have from time to time to challenge yourself. It's good for you. You make self-exam for you, just to set your level where is. If you failed, no problem. Do it again. But it's good to give yourself hard objects or hard subjects to do. In panoramic, even in blending exposure or these techniques. If you add to focus stacking panorama, it will be harder. If you add exposure blending to panorama, it also will be harder. So challenge yourself. So what is the focus stacking? It's photographic techniques to get sharp image from edge to edge. Okay? We need sharp image. But why we use, by creating multiple shots, increasing the depth of field. You know the depth of field, no? Everyone know what's depth of field mean? If you need, I can go for depth of field because it's important. It's the area where we have the focus in. Okay? So this is the depth of field, the area of the image appears sharp. Here we have the sharpness from here to here, if you can see. And all this is out of focus. So our depth of field from here to here only. There are three factors affect the depth of field. First one is the focal length. If you are using wide angle, it's different when you use the 200 millimeter or macro photography. Also the distance of the object. If the object is here, if you have it here, it's changing. Everything changes. Depth of field changing. And the last one is the aperture. 2.8, we have small depth of field. 16, we have large depth of field. So for that, which is the good aperture for landscape? For me, 11 and 16. Yeah, because we have sharp image from edge to edge. But sometimes for landscape photography, we use, and not sometimes. Now I'm starting to change my techniques. If you have your tripod more than this lens doesn't have, in the focus ring, there is a small area you can read the focus distance, no? Yeah. Imagine I have 1424. The reading area, it's between 0.28 up to 1 meter. If you are below 1 meter, you have to make focus stacking. If you are below 1 meter, you don't have to do it. Okay? If the subject is more than meter from the lens, okay, you don't need to make the focus stacking. This will always be taught, and if it's near to the lens, so you have to do it. Okay? We use the focus stacking for photographing small objects, like macro photography, with enough depth of field, without enough depth of field to bring all the subject in focus. This is, we can use it for macro photography, for product photography, for food photography, for all the small subjects, or where the subject is close to the camera, especially in landscape and macro. Okay? And the whole situation, which is very difficult to get a sharp image from one shot. Here we use the focus stacking. How to do it? Anybody heard about the focus rail? You remember the old photographer having rail like accordion? Why they use the rail? why they use the rail? For focusing, for focus, because they have the lens and they move the lens to get the focus. But in very old camera, they don't have even viewfinder. They don't know what they are photographing. Exactly. How they focusing these subjects? I give you this calculation. I give you this to search in YouTube and study this one. They use hyperfocal distance. So they calculate the focus, and then they're focusing in this area. Okay, it's hyperfocal distance. I'm not talking about it now. This is basic concept. Yeah, exactly. It's calling DOF master. Many applications calculate this. But you have to learn why they calculate this, how to calculate it. This is important, okay? Just for increase your knowledge. Or manually. The focus rail, you can use this one. And this one, when you put the camera here, or manually, you're changing manually. This is the normal way to do it if you don't have Nikon cameras. I changing before manually. Every shot I increase a little, so maybe taking 10 pictures, something like that. You don't need to see the subject. Just increase it just a little bit. Maybe take 10 pictures, maybe 5 pictures, maybe 20, maybe 100. There is also some motor focusing engine for macro photography. They move it, it's like 0.5 millimeter or less than this one for macro photography, for micro, not macro. Or they use the Nikon focus shift feature. Steps. Steady tripod, always. Okay. So we put our camera on the tripod. بدي أغير الكونكشن من اللابتوب للكاميرا. موجود okay. So you have to take the cable from here, I think. This is the SDIM entry. No, from here.
This will not come. This will not come.
No, I don't need this one. No, because this is connecting to the laptop, and no, should be to the TV direction. Oh. فينا نقوي الضوء؟ ايه ماكسيموم. Okay, the camera. Yeah. imagine this is the subject, and we want to do it. It's very near to the lens. This lens, the minimum, it's 0.35, something like that, and the maximum, it's 2 meters, sorry. So should be in between, should be multiple focus. So we are shooting now. We put it in manual. Let's see f5.6, and we need to, let's see, ISO 200, and this is the exposure. Okay. If you see in this picture, there is focus in this area only. But here it's out of focus, and there it's out of focus also. We fixed the camera on the tripod, used the live view, zooming, and zooming. Now we take focus manually. Okay. The focus should be taken in the first edge of the nearest edge of the subject. So here, just changing. You can see now at the sharpest. Okay. The focus should be manual. So if it's in auto focus, turn off and keep it manual. Okay? And then take a picture. The picture we can see it's very sharp here. You can see it's very, very sharp, but starting from here, it's out of focus. Okay. So the next picture, we have to zoom again and change the focus. We don't need to zoom, just change this one a little bit. Okay. So we have zoom here better, then we take the second one. Now we have you see this one here. This is the first one. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. Hmm? No, I don't active the focus peaking. I never used. So now I'm going to this area. This is the picture. Sorry. You can see now this area is out of focus, the beginning, and we have focus here near the F. And then other picture. Okay, you can shoot in RAW, but if you are going to take more than 100 pictures, you need a good PC to do this job. Okay, even you can make 20 pictures, and then you make 4 or 5 folders from 1 to 20, from 21 to 40, 41 to 60, and you make 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay. And then you make the last 5 images together. In the same way, it's not so difficult. It's very easy.
So this one is using single point focus.
Yes, always. We are using manual focus, so will be single. You are not using autofocus.
The question is, how many photos do I need for a certain?
It depends the lens. Okay. If macro lens,
I mean, let's talk
you
about
need the
landscape.
program. Okay, you have the lens. It's 70 millimeter. You are shooting at 4, so you go and calculate your depth of field.
How long is my depth of field?
Exactly. Then you have, imagine your depth of field, it's 1 millimeter. And this is 300 millimeters, so you need 300 pictures. Okay?
Okay, let's talk about landscape.
We talk about landscape. Normally in landscape, I never do more than 6 pictures. Okay? Because why? Why it's 6 pictures?
The rest of the picture is already.
No, what the things, they affect the depth of field.
Yeah, the maximum.
High F number. No. Depth of field and the distance, because the minimum distance I have 25 millimeter. And what the third things we talk about? The focal length. The wide focal length, we have more depth of field. When we have wide angle zoom, we have more depth of field than telephoto or macro. So to calculate exactly how many pictures, if you are using product photography, you are using macro or 200, you have to calculate your depth of field and calculate the dimension of the subject, and then you know how much. And also, if you want very sharp image, you can calculate also. You put, I need one picture with 1 millimeter depth of field. So you have to set your camera to get this 1 millimeter depth of field. Why we use this technique? For micro photography, for product photography, imagine you have a small ring, okay? If you use macro, it will be just a small distance in focus. So if you need quality, big quality for these pictures, you make a lot of stacking pictures. Okay? So this is the normal way to do this picture. Is manually focusing, okay, starting from this area, okay. We have to start the focus here to the infinity. But one by one, we do it. For landscape, you can make it autofocus because you can take focus in the foreground. First one, you take it manually. First picture, always manually. And then even if it's in autofocus mode, you can still take in the picture manually. But the next picture, move the focus box to this area, and after to this, and after to this area, up to the infinity.
Why don't you use smaller aperture in this example?
You can use f16. You have to take.
So it means you will just have to take fewer photos if you use
Yeah,
larger aperture.
you know when you use the small aperture and you make many pictures more, you have more details in the picture. For more details, nothing else. If you use now f16, let's go to f16. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's focus in this area. Okay, this now focus. If you move, now you are out of focus, even with f16. Why? It's so close. And now we have to adjust the focus to get focus in. Okay. So let's talk about Nikon. Sorry? Yes. Yeah. It's real. Now I have good focus in this area. Yeah. Now it's perfect. the focus. I have to keep the lens in autofocus, and very important, this system cannot be used with manual focus lens. Should be autofocus, okay? And if you're using flash also for product photography, don't use the flash because it will not be work, because you cannot take 300 or 100 pictures with a small shutter speed. So I'm going to the menu. And here we have the focus shifting, shifting. Number of shoots. We have our program. I don't know if I have. There is a page called DOF Master. I don't have internet connection. Can I?
What do you put first?
Okay, well,
Okay, she got first.
okay. Still no connection.
Disconnect it.
Yeah.
Disconnect it.
Okay. It's little. This is the application if you use the laptop. Here we put the focal length. I'm now, let's see, in 42 millimeter. And then the f-stop. I'm now in f16, I think. Yes. And then we change the camera. And subject distance in meter. 20 millimeter. 200 millimeter. 0.2. And we put full frame camera. Okay. This is full frame for the sensor because the depth of field and the hyperfocal length distance, there is something called circle of confusion. We calculated after knowing the circle of confusion. Every camera and every sensor have this difference. What's mean the circle of confusion? Is the diameter of the cone of the light. When the light touching the sensor, it's touch like cone, you know, okay? So it's the diameter. So this is the circle of confusion. Okay, this is not our matter. You see here for the camera, for full frame Nikon is 0.03. At this, we have the hyperfocal distance. We have depth of field. Doesn't calculate anything. It's only calculating the depth of field. No. Forget about it. Actually, I never use this one, but I told you something. The camera, when we go to focus shifting, we put the number of shoot, okay? The camera will start from the nearest focus point up to the infinity. So if you put here 100 pictures and the camera reach after 20 pictures the infinity, so will be stop, okay? And the focus step width. And the D850, it was only up to 5. Now we have up to 10. What's mean this one? The distance between the focus and the next focus, okay? There is no calculation for millimeter or something. There is scale from 1 to 10. If the distance is 1 meter, so there is 10 millimeter in between, okay? It's everything depend the lens, the focal length, everything. So normally I put it 4. This is the recommended, okay? Interval, the next shot, we don't need any interval. Peaking stack image, also we don't need. And silent photography, if you want to be silent, okay. If you don't need, nothing. Before we start, I will shoot it in JPEG. Okay, now we're back to the menu, the focus, and we said start. It's preparing, and then taking another. It will be not changed because now everything is electronical. It's 8 seconds between. Let me stop and increase the ISO.
It has to be in manual mode.
Yeah.
So I mean the manual focus and
Autofocus. Autofocus. Sorry guys, I will back again and increase the ISO. Okay, now it's focus. This camera, can you make picture up to 12,000? Ah, okay. Now we have more pictures. Keep it in 8. Okay. So I have video up with 20,000 ISO. It looks very good. So this is good camera also for these things. Then I go back to focus shifting and start again. I'm preparing. I keep it in 13 only. It's amazing, really. I keep it 13, I didn't change it, but if you see with 13, we have almost all the book, it's in focus, because here it's out of focus. It's showing in the top, it's out of focus even here, okay? So we have 13 pictures ready to process, okay? The technique, it's clear. Any doubt before jump to other technique? Please, question. I will give you, in half an hour, I will give you maybe half an hour or 15 minutes for questions, okay? So I will jump ahead to other technique. So if we back to the step, first one, fix the camera on a steady tripod, compose your image. Okay. Compose your image and fix the exposure. Camera in manual mode. This is for if you don't have Nikon camera. No problem. And set your camera on live view, as we said before, taking picture manually, focus manually, and changing the second picture up to reach the infinity. You can use it with autofocus mode for landscape. Actually, before that, I cannot go down to the floor and making pictures and imagine there is water or something. It's very difficult. So now with the tilt screens, is good for us. Okay, you can. It will be very useful. Okay. Now it's very funny techniques, and for me, one of the most useful techniques for me. 80% of my picture is panoramic. Why I use panorama like this one? Eh? Why you use panorama? Why you need panoramic pictures? High resolution, yes. It's working? Let me use mine. Don't worry, I have no. So this is a good technique to take you to another level in the photography. So we use it, the panoramic picture, they call it also the wider image or the wider picture by taking multiple vertical pictures in landscape. I'm just talking about landscape, okay? Always we take it in vertical, never in horizontal like this. Because if you take it like this, you make 10 pictures, you will get large and very tight pictures, okay? So that's why we take vertical shoots. Why we don't use a single shoot? There is many good reasons for that. Okay, distortion one, and we need the single, the lens, our wide angle lens doesn't take all the scene of the image, all the image, okay? Or we need high resolution image for printing. So this is the mainly reason to use the pano pictures. Wide angle also can be make distortion, but it's the best lens for landscape panoramic shoots, even with the distortion, because we center the lens. We keep it in the wide angle in 14 millimeter, for example, and the lens we keep it balanced. Okay, we will try this after in the camera. And also, the photos creating a lot of distortion, but balancing the lens, it will be okay. And also to make larger pictures. Standard lenses can be used also, so no problem if you use 18 millimeter or 20 millimeter, can be used. And actually 24 also, it's good lens for panoramic. I have picture I will show you after with 15 millimeter. I have picture with 200 millimeter. So it depends what you are going to do. Okay, we will talk about this one already. What is the nodal point? Do you heard about nodal point? What is the nodal point? But what is the nodal point? Okay, we put this and after turning. Eh? Oh, the image, no. Light. You know the light's coming through the lens, okay, from everywhere. Then it's going to, there is two elements in the lens concentrating the light, okay, to take it directly to the sensor. We need the center of the lens. Where is the center of the lens? It's not the front of the image like this. This is not the center of the lens. And here also it's not the center of the lens. We have to calculate the center. Okay? So the nodal point, let's see the center of perspective of the lens. At the center, this is where the rays entering the lens, converting it. Okay, this is the center of the lens. This is the nodal point. Why you use the nodal point? I will show you now the video. I made this video. This is two deodorant in the table, one here and one here. If we have here something, we can do it live. We need 2 bottles of water. Okay. Yeah, it's normally we use some light stand. It's the better way, the best way. Is the parallax point. ما سمعت. First we have to center the lens. Now it's center. Okay. We put this here and the other one here. This is the normal condition. Okay. We have to center also. We will talk after about equipment. Okay? Now we have the tripod balance and the camera balance. If you turn, you put it in the wide angle. If we turn, look there, you can see the other buttons. Okay? And if you turn it back, also the same. So that's why when we make pictures, panoramic pictures, without considering the nodal point in our pictures, you will see the edges first like this, okay? There is distortion in all the pictures. The second, if you have some continuous lines, it will be not fixed properly. There will be some shifting in the line. So what we do, it's very easy. We should use the rail, pano rail we called. Put this. Put our camera on. This is the normal condition. Okay, so when we change, you can see the other bottle. Okay, you see? We still can see the other bottles. Okay, we can still see the second bottle. If we move the camera a little bit, okay, we still now, no. Forget about the high of the bottle because it's not natural. Only now you cannot see it. This way, the same. So this is the nodal point of 24 millimeter, at 24 millimeter. If you are using 70 millimeter, we go to here still you cannot see the bottle. So the center of the lens now it's almost the sensor. Okay? You see? You go to 24 millimeter. Okay? Yeah, we have to change the nodal point. So I recommend you to test your lenses, okay? And you get one rail, make marker. Now you know at this distance, here you have marker. You can use this one better. At 180, this is for 24 millimeter. Even for 16, the same place, okay? And you test 50 millimeter, okay? It's 120. You make marker here and sticker, small sticker. If you want and the back side. Here for 50 millimeter, here for 24, here for 70. So you can adjust the rail for your lens.
I mean, and this method is the right method?
Exactly. For panorama, this way. This is for landscape only. If you want to shoot, for example, stadium with 500 millimeter lens to take each person in the stadium, you have to use the one it's look like U shape. You put the camera here, and then you have you have freedom to use it up and down and right and left. Okay, this is only for vertical landscape panorama. Okay, the other one is different use. The other one you can use it for 360-degree pictures. Okay, with the same way you have to fix your nodal point, but as we said, at 200 millimeters it will be at least here. So just fix the center. You have to fix the center of the tripod with it. Should be, there is a marker there. You fix the center, and then you move the camera, depend the lens which you are using. You move it like this, the lens, and the lens will be like this. Okay, so you can take it up and down, right and left. So, but this is only for landscape. It's very easy, believe me. But I will show you the picture, but you take, there is no any fault in the picture. Everything is perfect. You are looking to perfect your pictures. This one cost $25. So it's cheaper than a good mandi or biryani, no? No? All this stuff which we talk about, it's, believe me, it's very cheap. So we need for panorama, this one, to level our tripod, should be the tripod leveled. If you don't have this one, okay, so you need a pano head. This is panoramic head. Why panoramic head? Because I can only sweep this area. I have screw here, and then only I sweep this area. In this case, I level the camera. I will show you now, and no need to level the tripod. There is head with 50 euro. You can get a pano head. Okay. So this is cheapest, but the level base, it's more accurate. That's why I use the other one. I show you why we use this one. Now I need only the camera. If we level the camera, now the camera is leveled, no? If you take it right, you see the level? But when you have this one and you balance your camera, you balance the tripod, the tripod. Okay. Now the tripod balanced. Now, okay, it's not red, but you see still green. Okay, so that's why we balance the tripod, the tripod, sorry, because we need exactly. So if you use this one like this, you never get bending picture when you assemble No, portrait always. I cannot put the portrait now because I have the cable in the middle of L plate. But yes, that's why we use the L plate actually for this one. Let's put it just slightly. Okay. Okay. See, still balanced everywhere. And this will take you a lot of steps up. If you go to internet and search about panoramic photography, you never seen these techniques. You never seen the nodal point. Some new videos coming up in the YouTubes, yes. They explain the nodal point. This is not only for photography, they use it for everything. For telescoping, for calibrated telescope, for calibrate. Everything has lenses inside. Okay? It's easy. So the steps. I show you the video. I move it around. You can see I have another bottle on the back side, and it's clear. And now just move the camera back. This with 14mm lens. Okay. So the gear, camera, tripod, leveling base, the pano rail, wide angle lens, filter if you need. I did a lot of pano with filters, trigger, and for processing Photoshop. I'll show you how I process this one. It's 1 minute only. And the steps: feed the camera, leveling the tripod, search for the focal length nodal point, take the focus and turn it in manual. Okay. Use the camera in manual mode, set the exposure, and keep 15 to 20 degrees between each pictures. So normally I take 9 to 10 pictures for one landscape panoramic shoot. I will show you now. This is one picture, 6 panoramic shoot, vertical shoot. This is how it's look after processing. You can see that doesn't matter about these areas because our lens is wide angle, so always you have the foreground is more bigger than the background. That's why it's coming like this, but this doesn't matter with us. The only thing we care about is this part of the pictures. If you don't use the rail, the focus rail, the pano rail, you will get the picture like this. It's bending, you will get it bending, okay? So with the nodal point, this is after processing, and this is the picture after. So you can see it's small processing need only. Okay, I'm going to the Photoshop.
Can we not do this in Lightroom?
Sorry?
The stitching of the panorama, can we not do it in Lightroom?
And Lightroom, yes, but I never used the Lightroom. Okay, let's go for Pano. I open this one. Okay, we go to the same pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We open with Photoshop. I will record this, okay, for you. Okay, start recording. Okay, here I have the all pictures, 6 pictures. We go to the top, select all, and merge to panorama. If you do it good, you don't need any software for panorama. So with this one, with Photoshop or Lightroom, it's enough because our picture is good. Make it good. There is no too much separation between one another. So only we have 15 degrees between. So it's good gap to get between one and the second. And this is the last pictures. You see, it's very simple. This banding, because we are using wide angle lens, so the wide angle given biggest foreground, okay, because the foreground is near. That's why. If I show you I will open the image. This is the power of 40. This with the 850. Keep it in perspective, the first one. Spherical, yeah.
So the Photoshop solved the banding issue on this.
The bending, it doesn't matter. There is no bending here.
No,
This is because the lens is wide angle.
when you combine those images,
Yes.
there's like a slide.
No, this is only during the processing, but now there is nothing there. Okay, I will. Yeah, no problem. لا لا. So this is the panorama. I will show you the picture after. Because and now the second one, we are going to merge the pictures. This is for focus stacking. Here we have the JPEG pictures, which we take. I think starting from here. Sorry. I did 1, 2. Yeah, starting from this one. So it's very important to number your pictures from 1317 up to 1330. Okay, 13 pictures we did. So no, from 9. No, from this one we start with this one, 1319. Okay, so we go to Photoshop and we go to File, Script, Load File into Stack. Okay, and now we browse the files. We go for Nikon Z6. And we choose our 13 pictures. Now we have 10 here and another 3. And open. Okay, we don't mark any of this. Okay.
Please show also remember the high dynamic.
Yeah.
Because I do it with masking and you said you can do it in 20 seconds. So
Yeah, I will show you. Okay, here we have the 13 picture which we took. Okay, so with Alt and we select all these pictures. First of thing, because when you change the focus, the composition is changing. So we have to align all these pictures. We select all. We go for Edit, Auto Align Layer, and with Auto. Okay, because we have the white background. Okay, so you are not seeing now any cropping. It will be a little bit cropped. So it's very easy. Just to practice. You have to practice the method. Okay, now it's aligned. If you can see here in the border apps, it's little cropped. Now, all selected, we go to again to Edit. Now, Auto Blend Layer. And then we go for Stack Image, Seamless Tones and Color. If you want, keep it, but you can move it even. And OK. This is JPEG, so it will be good. Fast, but this is 50 megapixel file, each pictures. Still, it's very high resolution. Yeah, the raw filter, the raw file for this camera, 50, see, equal to the 850, but this 24 megapixel. هي 24 ميجا بكسل. It's good or bad? It's bad. Okay. Now look to the picture. From the beginning, this we call from end to end. If you can see here, you know why I keep it because we remove this, keep tone and everything less. I just do it just to check what the difference if you put it or not. So keep always keep the color and this seamless tone and color. Okay, but you can see it's sharp. The same of the pictures. Picture here also. It's blur on the top side. And you see, it's very quickly, no need more time. Okay, now we go for the third. If you see this picture, the first one, look to histogram. We only take care about the highlight. Look to histogram, the highlight, it's okay. If you go to the second one, now we take care about the shadow. So we select both pictures by select all, and now we open images. I'm working normally with Photo Profile. That's why always ask me, you know what the difference between the Photo RGB and sRGB? If no, Sola will guide you through a basic photography workshop soon. Inshallah. The Photo and RGB and sRGB, this is color profile, okay? The camera color profile. The Photo, it's contain actually 80% of the colors, RGB colors we are talking about, okay? And RGB less and sRGB less. Okay, normally I take the darkest one, I select all the picture, copy, and paste another picture. And I deactivate this one. So this is, we have our picture. What we are going to remove from this picture? The highlights. So we go to select, we go to color range, and here down, if we click here, highlight, it will be select all the highlight in the picture. And we click on the second picture, you see all these highlight pictures in the other highlights selected, and just mask, finish. But it's not finished yet. Always if you work with mask and replace something with the mask, you have to make Gaussian blur filters. Always. So we go to Gaussian blur filters, always over the mask. Yeah. And blur, Gaussian blur, and we take range in 250 range. I will show you both. So we go to 250 and okay. Now it's ready. You can do it another way. You click over the mask with the right click, okay? Sorry, you double click the mask going to property of the mask, and the feather here is the same as Gaussian blur, the feather, 250. With, without, respecting everything. There is no aberration, there is nothing here. It's easy selected, you can see. This is the easy way. And I will show you the better way also. Yes, here you have the two pictures. I already record my steps in action. I have here action, blending 2. I just press here and play. Finish. 1 second. Okay? Try to record your action, your steps. So if you are repeating this processing many times, so record it, keep it in action, and then you have the video. You will get the video. I repeat. This is two pictures. We deselect this, the dark one. We are working over the first one. We go to select, color range, and we choose the highlight, and OK. Then we mark another this one and click. We take mask, double click over the mask, 250, and voila. Less than 30 seconds, no? And you have good picture. I will stop the recording to get the file. Okay, question. We have 5 minutes only. Question. Fan الضوء. Yeah.
I want to invest for a new tripod, and I'm thinking of getting the same locking system.
Yeah.
What's the main advantage of that locking system?
This one.
No, the legs.
This one.
No, the tripod. The tripod.
Ah, this one, the locking system. This
Yes.
one.
What's your take about this kind of locking
It's easy.
system?
And this you have here, O-ring, rubber ring, to avoid any water or dust or sand. It's going inside. Okay, so you open. But this is better than the other one. The other one, click, you will damage quickly with the sand. So this is, it's good. It's solid. Question.
Are you usually satisfied with 2 photos for blending? Or
Yeah.
you don't depend on taking 6 or not needed?
The only way I have to take more than picture if I have the sun in front of me. This is the only,
So no need for the bracketing and 5 and 7.
just two pictures. Histogram, one of the histogram to the right, other to the left. Always histogram, right, left, and finish.
What about night with light? At night with light?
This is different. I'm not going to, we have to take maybe 8, 9 pictures, something like that, because in the night, what is the source of the light? Yeah. Okay. No, daily. Let's see daily. Yeah. I'm not going tonight. It's. What source of light you have in the day? Okay, and reflected light. Okay, both. So we have 2 sources of light. Okay, the direct light and the reflected light. That's why we take just two pictures. Okay, we take one picture for the reflected area and the other picture for the direct area. Okay, in the night we have many sources. We have moon, maybe. We have one light 1 meter from us, another light 2 meters from us, the lights in the building, maybe another light 10 meters from us. There is more than 5, 6, even more. So we have to take pictures, maybe 7, maybe 8 pictures, and then blended at the same method. And we should work with 2 pictures, and then another 2, and like this up. We take the last. This is the difference between day and night. More.
And do you use to make exposure blending in panoramic?
Yes, I will show you. I was going there to show you some picture with. This exposure blending. And this also was challenged for me to create a cave. This cave is created cave. There is no cave there. Anyone knows how we create caves?
Can you go far behind to the back?
No, no need. It's very easy. Just you need a wide angle lens and keep your camera near the wall. So because it's 130 degrees, the 14 millimeter of Nikon, you are taking part of the mountain. And that's why I create this cave. There is no cave there. This is the first picture, this in Qatar, taken, and many photographers ask me after this, where is the cave? We've never seen any cave there. So there is no cave. This is your creativity. You have to be creative. So I create this one, take one exposure blending for the cave, for the mountain, let's say, and the other for the sky. This one also, one of the most difficult panorama I did in my life. I was very near to the wall here, just 15 centimeters. I take 3 focus stacking pictures just for this area, okay? Then a panorama, because if I move little to the left, I cannot keep the mountain, this rock, away from the edge. So I need to keep it away of the edge. This is focus stacking and panorama and exposure blending. This 3 in 1. These pictures is a good challenge for everyone. It's nothing difficult. Just you have to know the method, how to practice this method. So here in this picture, I practice the 3 methods or the 3 techniques, what we learned today, okay? And this one also, you see this picture a lot of time, no? But when you look to this picture, not this one, take a look to this part, bending, and 100% of the picture I seen for this place, here it's bending, because they didn't use the panorama rail. Okay, and look this, it's perfect. The composition is perfect. And this with Milky Way also. Also the Milky Way, you can take Pano Milky Way in the foreground. This is in Tenerife in Spain. Okay, the moon was going down. We have little, the Milky Way.
When taking panoramic shots, for example, if we have a long exposure, and then we have the, for example, clouds that are moving, how do you align together like?
The Photoshop will align it without any problem. This is this one with Milky Way. It's good aligned. So there is no just a little light, little. Okay.
It's asking about the clouds, not the
The cloud. If it's moved, you have to take just one shoot for the cloud, for the sky, and it's little difficult. For this case, I always use the ND filters, 10 f-stop or 6 f-stop. I take blur clouds, okay, so it's better. And 10 f-stops ND filter. This is my last Pano picture. No, not the tracker. No. Also with Aurora, you can take Pano shots. So it's moving like clouds. Also the Aurora, it's moving. So there is not any problem. The difficult one was this one, but also was good. This is my best Pano photography. Yeah, my best one ever. It's rear reflection, there's nothing. It's maybe 9 vertical panoramic shoot. Thank you. So, challenge yourself. You have everything now, the video, the techniques. So, let me see your works. And if you have any question, you can find me on Instagram, or you ask Ms. Ola for my number. I'm ready for any question, for any help. Okay. This is focus blend stacking, because I was very near, and exposure blending. If you see this picture, your eye, where is? No, the first look, where? Okay. This is added light. I add this light because the composition was very bad. I cannot, the problem in this frame, this one. You are not seeing now this one in the picture because I add this light here. I guide your eyes directly to go to the light. If I didn't put light here, your eyes is going there. Okay? So this was the challenge for me, to try your eyes to go directly to the light. Just adding spot of light here, and the problem disappear.
Do you have the original of this one?
Yes, should be. Okay. Sorry, guys. Time is finished.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
you.